routines or certain things you can do to relieve a lot of that stress if you do it the right way. I'm not saying that it works for everybody, but that's what I do. I mean, of course, prayer and meditation, and and then I exercise a little bit. I don't do a whole lot like I used to, but I try to get out there and walk at least a mile a day. I'm thinking I'm gonna go up to 2, maybe 3 miles a day. But but I see that my walking is a lot better and faster because I was walking kind of slow. And then I caught myself. I said, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?" So I've been doing that, and then now I'm back on a little light weights, not a, not stress exercises. So I mean, I feel good, bro. I mean, everything is good. And I always gotta say, man, you up there in age, bro. You can't be doing what you did at 47.
Well, it's the reality of that, man, is hitting is really coming clear every day.
Yeah,
It does. It comes clear every day that we and then I get kind of to a point in everything where I forget stuff, man. And I woke up this morning and stuff, and I forgot, man. I didn't, but there was a bill I didn't pay and everything, and that's Simon Gun sent me. They sent me a notice and stuff and everything. This thing is past due. I said, oh shit, I am. That's not me. I usually make sure that all my bills and shit are paid and everything. So,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Everything is a little different now,
yeah.
and it's not frustrating, but it's sort of kind of, especially if you're used to doing things, you know, all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's just a period of adjustment. That's what intelligence is. We have to adapt, and the adaptation is a little strange, because you know, like my mom used to always say, no ain't for sissies. So I just gotta, toughen up, and that's what we gotta do. Just toughen up and just realize that if we gotta take notes, take notes. And
Mm.
if you got, to write it down, things I gotta do, whatever. Every
Well,
little thing, use all your tools
well,
to get
yeah,
things done.
yeah. I tried that writing stuff down, and shit, I couldn't find my list. Shit, man, that's where the hell I did with that damn thing. I couldn't find it. I
Man,
put
you
it
better shut
somewhere.
up. Shut up.
I put it somewhere. I couldn't find it. So I think I'm gonna have to use my AI and stuff and everything to kind of work with my life. So my phone will pop on and everything and tell me, when things are going and everything. So I'm gonna pull my artificial intelligence out and get into being my assistant. Cause
you
man,
know, the thing is though, bro. And I'm finding this fascinating, Ed. People out there that's out there listening, and you up in age. The fascinating thing about this that you can go on YouTube and anything that you want to find out, or certain things that might be ailing you, or things that might be, I ain't saying that it works for everybody, but there's so many things out there that can assist you for the elderly, people that are getting older. And the thing is that the thing is that there's so many things that you can do. Like I wake up at between every morning between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. If I go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm up at 2, 3. So I'm sitting there and I look at all my things that I have to do and list everything that I got to do for that day, for the day, and I try to do probably get done maybe 50% of it, but I should get 100. But I don't, I don't have to. I ain't stressing out. I ain't got nothing else. Ain't no, I ain't got nobody depending on me or nobody doing this or doing that. So I get most of my stuff done. things that I have to do. I mean, this is basically most of it just taking care of myself. Did I juice? Did I make my juice today? Did I take my medication today? Did I do this today? Did I do that today? Did I do my walking? Did I? All of that is all about me. So, and it's about 10 or 12 things I gotta do every day, bro, just for me to get ready for the day. And I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's not a when we used to get up, man, and pop up, boom, do what we gotta do and get it done, and boom, 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 we done. But now it's a focus. You have to be mindful, and it's not a complaint. It's just that something that we have to realize that as you get, up in age, up there, elderly, it's just the way it is. Because one thing I don't want to do, I don't want to be walking around with one of those little push things trying to help me walk.
Well,
As
it's funny
people
you
might
said
know,
that. It's funny you said that because I had to get one of those things, the walker,
I know.
after I had my knee surgery. And that walker, I left it sitting in my bathroom. It's sitting right by my shower, so I put it there and everything. So if I can't get out of the shower, there's the walker right there, so I can get out. But I'm gonna take that thing and throw it in the garage somewhere, because I don't want to. It was a crush there for a while and everything, but my knee is doing okay. And oh man,
Well, as you
it
know,
is
I'm
it
around a
is
bunch of.
yeah, it
I'm
is
in a
really
senior
funny, man.
complex
That
now, Ed,
yeah, it's really funny that
and I see it. I mean, it's everywhere. All these seniors, man, they got these little push carts. I said, "Oh my goodness." It's when I say sad, I don't mean they're sad. It's just that the thing is, you got to do the exercise. You got to take your supplements. You got to take your medications. You got to do all those things so that you can have mobility. Mobility is the key, bro. Because next thing you know, you be sitting on the couch.
well, not even sitting on the couch. They'll have you in a wheelchair because you
Yeah.
can't you can't get up, and then you're gonna have somebody to change your clothes and put your shoes on for you and everything. So I try to stay as active I can to keep that from happening to me. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at everybody and stuff. My older folks and stuff, they have gone, man. Uh, my mom gone. My dad's been gone. Uh, my uncle, my aunts, they've been gone. I got one set of aunts and uncles and stuff in Mississippi and stuff, and both of them are damn near in their 90s. Well, one of them's almost in his 90s, and my aunt and stuff, she's 94. She'll turn
Well, you
95 in
blessed, bro.
September.
You are blessed because all of my elderly people are gone, bro. Uncles, aunties, they're gone. The parents, been gone, but you're blessed. You still got aunties, and I'm sure that you're probably keeping in contact with them. Yeah, and I know you are because you mentioned them the other day. But you know, long life, man, is rough. We saw that guy who was the chairman of the reserves. He lived to be 100 years old, man. He was married to Angela. I can't think of her last name, but uh, he lived to be 100 years old, bro. I haven't seen him on TV or anything for the last 20 years, but he was the reserve for under, I think it was Reagan. And, you know, talking about the reserve, the Federal Reserve, Ed, what a scam, bro. What a scam. You know, uh, I look at all of this, how they manipulate the market and all that, and I'm sure you watched some of the videos and been reading about how all of a sudden the oil prices now and went down to in the 70s, and the oil prices then dumped, alleviated people at least $1, $1.25 a gallon, and they say that they manipulated the market, bro, because they'd have made all their profits already. They'd have made their profits. So now they just playing a game, to try to satisfy Trump. That's it. You
Well,
know.
well, they've been. Ted, I am. That's another thing that I am very, very, very afraid about and everything when this daggone thing really hits, man, because these people are covering up some major, major cracks and stuff in our economy, major cracks in our economy, and I'm seeing people. Man, it has gotten so bad and stuff now, Ted, that I have a whole list of red on my phone that I refuse to answer these phone calls. And most of them are from people or companies and stuff begging me to borrow money. And I know that. I see the number and stuff. If I don't recognize the number, I just only answer the phone. Man, a lot of them leave messages and stuff. We got your thing. We got money and stuff for you. We're going to give you a loan for this. We're going to give you a personal loan for that. And I'm wondering and stuff and everything, what the hell is going on? How are these people and stuff out there still trying to loan money out to people and everything and get them even further in debt? This country is in so much debt and everything and stuff now that our great grandchildren probably would still be paying this daggone thing off. So it's I'm just wondering when this thing is going to bust, when it's going to break, because of
Well, they
course,
keep on talking doomsday, but I think and I said this a long time ago when we talk about finance. You have to realize is that 40 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that, you know, the banks were divvying out 10% on your CDs. Your savings account, you can get 6 and 7, 8%. And so people would put their money, because it's insured up to $250,000. So people would put their money in there, and they put their life savings in there, and they can live off the interest because they were getting 10% on their money.
hmm
Well, now, because of that big change in the banks and as well as the stock market, they drove everybody to the stock market. And you say you wonder when it's going to hit. Well, they got safeguards, but at the same time, you're right. How how long will this last? Because now they was just getting ready to pass a housing thing that was
yep,
really both parties agreed to it.
absolutely, and it was veto
Yeah.
proof passed. So, uh, and now they're saying that Donald says he's not going to sign that daggone thing into law, but really he can do what the hell he wants to do because they've already passed it and a veto proof. They what 80-some% in both them houses of Congress and everything. So really, he doesn't even have to sign it. It's already come become law and stuff just a little bit because
Well,
he
it
can't.
took it took the Republicans to realize that these big time companies, that do real estate and buy up all these properties, they finally realized that this ain't right. They could buy hundreds and thousands of pieces of property, rent it out, make a ton of money, or if they sell it, they have raised up prices on the homes.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be here, and I can't speak for Georgia, I can't speak for LA, but
You can speak for every one of those states and stuff.
this shit is
They
going.
are
The
they are
property is
buying up
just
these
out of
properties.
sight.
These
It's out of
billionaires are
sight, bro.
buying up property, and they know what they're doing. They are buying up property. They're going to own this country.
Yeah, 20 years ago, man, or 15 years ago, you could buy you a nice little house for $250,000, $300,000. Now the average house now is almost $500,000. And if you talk about getting a real nice house, you're talking about $1 million, $8 to $1 million. Now you know when we was coming up, $1 million house was a mansion, bro.
It was man. You couldn't even maintain it. You have to take you have to have a freight car full of money to take care of it. You got to have hell. You got to have a guy to take care of the lawn. You got to have a housekeeper. You got to have all kind of people and stuff to take care of
Absolutely.
everything. And your pool and everything. You got to have a pool guy to come in there. You got all kind of stuff was going on, and there was constant maintenance and stuff that you had to do, which they are doing it right now with these $200 million homes. People are spending a lot of money and stuff to maintain their properties, but they got it coming into it because they got so much money that the income that they're coming in and everything is just astronomical. They don't even have to deal with the principal and stuff. They just live off the interest. Especially if
Well, here's
you
the
got a
thing,
billion
though.
dollars sitting there somewhere.
Here's the thing, though, Ed. That we see. The thing is, and I'm gonna say this, and this is no disparagement on these new Americans, so-called new Americans, that's only just getting off the boat. They come here and they look at this land of plenty, and all you gotta do is, and they keep hearing, all you gotta do is get your education and work hard, and you know, and abide by the rules, and you can live that American dream. Well, some of those people do work hard and they get the education, they become doctors, they become lawyers, they become engineers, and therefore they start making, the 150 to 250 to $300,000. But then they realize, hey, my house costs, if I want to live in the neighborhood I want to live in, it costs over $1 million. So now you're in debt for 1.5 to $2 million, and you're only making $250,000 a year, your household income. So you just as poor as that person that's living in that neighborhood where a house costs $100,000, and they only making minimum wage. Yeah, you live in a nice neighborhood, you got a nice car, but you paying $1,000 a month for your car, and you paying $6,000 or $7,000 a month for your house. That ain't even counting all the maintenance, experience, insurance, all of that. So they have jacked up price up so much, and we're very fortunate that we're still be able to fill the grocery stores with food, that people can go to the grocery store and buy food for those that can afford to buy food. It's very fortunate, and we have allowed it because we have let these people in the House and the Senate run amok. Just run amok, bro, because they want to make their little money. Because tell me, Ed, how many people you know that can work for 5 years and get a lifetime retirement and a lifetime health care? Is there a company that or somebody that you can work for that get you work for 5 to 6 years and you qualify to get a lifetime retirement? You get a lifetime health insurance. That's the way these Congress people and these Senate people work, bro. They all looked out for themselves. I remember, and I've said this before, I used to read a lot of history and about these founding fathers. Now, mind you, I'm not glorifying them, but the point is, and because a lot of them had slaves and all that, but they used to work practically for nothing, and then they, once they did their little job and duty, they only stayed in office for, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and they was gone. You got these people, man, they lasting 20, 30 years. And they set up a retirement. And a lot of those people back then, they didn't even have any kind of retirement plan. You know, of course, they had their little slaves and they had, their little small businesses and all that kind of stuff, you know. And, I look at the history of Benjamin Franklin. He never was, I think he was an ambassador at one time over in France, but he never had no really, like a congressman or a senator or anything like that. But he had his many businesses and he represented the United States in a mighty way. But man, I'm telling you, these Congress people, and I'm not saying all of them, because right now we having a big issue with the Democrats because they don't know what they are now. Are they liberals? Are they progressive? Are they far left? So far left that they total socialists? You know, you got the Republicans. What are they? They keep on talking about the Democrats. Damn, what the fuck is it? Excuse my French, people. What the hell is the Republicans, Ed? If the Democrats are far left and these other people are far right, what are they? Fascists?
Trump's calling them communists.
I'm talking about the Republicans.
Oh, the Republicans. Oh man, shoot. They, they Trump people. They Trump. They just call them Trumpians. MAGA. They call them MAGAs.
Well, I ain't talking about these uh, Looney Tunes that's following him as a you know they just following him because they don't know no better. I'm talking about these white wing people that think that you know they're going to be taken over by POCs, people of color. These people that's running around thinking that they can have power to control black people, Asian people, Latino people, and any other kind of nationality that's brown or black. And the thing is, what are they? What are they? What is their whole goal? Is um, thinking that they can really actually, uh, you know, anytime a person or a company or people that try to eliminate people, don't they know that they can be hurt in so many ways that, you know, because everybody is not a violent person, they might be trying to manipulate. But of course, we got the white wing, these different organizations that are violent and try to intimidate people. But for the most part, most of those people just try to be prejudiced, racist, discriminatory, and all that, and keep people out of progress or whatever. But those type of people, they're not gonna survive.
Hmm.
They're not gonna survive. You can be as prejudiced as you wanna, and just because you're prejudiced don't mean you're racist. You just looking out for yourself and looking out for your own people or your own family. Because really, when it comes down to it, all you gotta do is ask a white person is what nationality are you or what ethnic group are you, and they'll tell you in a minute. I'm Polish. I'm Irish.
Hmm.
I'm Italian. You know. So the point is, they ain't all that, together, themselves. But I was listening to President Obama, matter of fact, today, and he was in this sports program podcast talking to, a couple of ex basketball players. And man, President Obama got it together, bro. I mean, we was talking about this yesterday. That man has it together, Ed, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You know what he said to them? He said, he ain't never said anything to my face. Every time we get together, every time we come together, he's just as nice and sweet.
But that's the way he is. Anybody, Ted, that stands up to him, or he knows going to stand up into him and look him in the face and everything, he gonna he's not gonna sit there and do anything with you. He's not gonna sit there and call you bad names or whatever like he does. Almost like uh he yesterday they had that meeting and stuff with the Republicans and stuff there at the Senate Republican. And he went into this thing to the meeting and everything, and he castigated all those Republicans who were sitting there. And the only person who got up and said any daggone thing was Cassidy, the guy who had lost his primary. And he there was back and forth with him and everything. But he sat there and he called Lisa Murkowski a dirty name. He said, "Yeah,
Mm,
you this, you that," and she never said a word.
mm.
And nobody else in the whole place other than Cassidy said anything to him. Even the majority leader, John Thune. President Obama, and I don't know if you heard it, but he did a him and someone else did a show and everything, and they were saying that you don't let a bully do those things to you. You open your mouth. You can't sit there and hold your head down and hope the bully go away. Because he's going to continue. He or she is going to continue to beat you up. They're going to beat you. And they're going to continue to do it because it's easy for them to do it. So having them to sit there and take that bull crap from him and everything, he's going to continue to do it because he's looking at you and everything and he sees that you're weak. And that's the kind of person he is. If he sees a weak person and everything, he is going to castigate you and do whatever he can and wherever he wants to you and call you whatever he wants to call you. And you're going to sit there and take it because you're not going to say a word.
Ed,
That's the kind of person he is. And that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
and
You sit there
these
saying that,
people
that he, and that's why he won't bother Obama because Obama is not going to take that. And he know
these
daggone well and
people
stuff.
didn't have a black mama. Let me tell you, bro. I know when I was bullied when I was 5. I remember all this shit. When I was 5 years, 6 years old, man, I was being bullied. Boy was bullying me. I ran and I was, oh, mama, mama, mama. And she said, what happened? I said, he blah, 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 blah. He said, boy, if you don't get your butt out there, and if that boy bully you or mess with you again, you better fight him back. That's what I did.
You had to
And
because
it
that's
happened
that's a
again when I was like 10, 11 years old. Boy was bullying me, and I would run in the house, and then it came back out, and the boy said, how come you ain't running? Because I used to run from him. How come you ain't running? I say, the reason why I ain't running, bam, bam, bam. I said, I'm beating his butt. The thing is, you gotta, just what you just said, you gotta stand up to a
e-
bully.
even if you get your butt whooped.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Even if you know they bigger than you are and you get your butt whipped and you stand up after you dust yourself off and look him dead in the face and say, I'm coming back again
I'll be back
tomorrow
again,
and
bro.
you're going to have to whoop me again tomorrow.
There you go. And that's what's wrong with these people. They never had a parent to tell you how to handle a bully. And they think that, oh, well, he's the president of the United States. And, I got to be subservient to him because, if I speak out of turn, I'll embarrass myself. And when they know what he's doing, and 80%, 90% of the things he's doing, it's not right.
It's not right. And people outside this country are realizing that, Ted, right now. He thought that he can bully those Iranians. And he and them daggone people say, you ain't gonna bully us. We know who you are. And you can come at us. Just like the ship tried to get through today and everything and go to taking another path out of the Straits of Hormuz. They blew a hole in the daggone ship.
Yep.
Well, Trump ain't said nothing. He ain't opened his mouth.
No.
He ain't opened his mouth. He ain't said a word. But he would threaten them. I will bomb them to the death. And they know daggone well after so many times you done threaten people and you ain't gonna do nothing, they know you full of crap. You full of crap. And how can he go and stand there for our country and people respect him? I don't know. He keeps talking about they laughed at us 2 or 3 years ago when Biden was in office. They were laughing at us, and now they're not laughing at us. Well, in actuality, he just reciting and stuff what is going on right now. They're laughing at us now. We're the biggest laughing stock in the
Big
world,
time.
big time laughing stock. Just like he
They
kept
don't.
telling people, we bringing 500 million gallons of white oil through the straits and everything, and we're getting it out. Well, it wasn't United States who were getting the oil out; it was Iran. They were letting the oil go out, shipping it over there to China or the other countries over there that they know about it, or letting Japan have some oil because they were going there buying it. And I guess everybody else seeing it and stuff say, hell, the Gulf Coast sticks they said, well, let's go over there and deal with Iran because they're the ones who protecting us. And man, we have some of the weakest people, Ted, in the world. And for this country to believe what these folks are telling us, man, it is just unreal. Some of this stuff, Ted, was common sense. These people are saying this, well, we done told them that they better buy our grain. That's why we giving them all that money. And then you got Rubio saying, we haven't gave them any money. He's a damn lie. They done gave him some money. They already gave what, $10 billion already. They got it in their pocket. Because they wouldn't come to the negotiating table until they put the money in their pocket. But he sat there and lied. Well, I guess he said, well, Trump can lie. I guess I can lie too. People believe it.
But Ed, here's the thing. I'm just trying to figure out, and we know that all of these lies is going out, and I know that they have intel. When I say they, I'm talking about the other side. Have intel. They can get information. They got spies. They got people that informants every kind of way because you can pay for that. People will sell their information. Say, okay, I give you $10,000. You give me some information on blah blah blah, and then they hide it and whatever. We heard about deep throat. So I'm just saying that the point is that these people on the other side don't put that information out there, bro. They don't come out and tell that this man is lying. They don't tell detailed information about what he's doing and what he has done. I was listening to Tavis Smiley today, and you know, I'm kind of a big fan of Cornel West, but I'm not at certain things. But most of all, the term abolition, he used that word. And there were a lot of abolitionists back in the day when there was slavery, because there were a lot of black people that were free or free. And they were born free, they was whatever, or You know, they bought their rights to their freedom. You know, they had all kind of ways of making money, these white folks. And so, but then at the same time, you had other people that were abolitionists that were white. And then you also had black people that were abolitionists, hundreds of thousands of them, because they were trying to free their family and their friends and other people, you know. And when you look at that term abolitionist, and he used that term as far as being an abolitionist for the discriminatory uh, enjailment or the incarceration of so many black people. The abolitionists, as far as people living in or not living in homes or apartments, you know, of people of poverty people. He used abolitionists as people who are not getting adequate health care. You're being, you know, be an abolitionist for those people that are any kind of way, you know, the corporations. You can, so in other words, what he was saying that we are abolitionists for doing the right thing. We should be fighting and talking about all of these things that are happening to certain people, and mostly to black people, but a lot of times it's for people of color. We have to be abolitionists. Now he does everything, at least he says he does, and I agree. I'm gonna respect what he says, that he does everything in love. He speaks on a whole lot of different subject matters of things that's going on in the country, and he does everything in love. And now what he said is that how come the Democrats didn't support Reverend Barber? He has a whole millions of people following him for poverty in the working class. Democrats didn't say nothing about that. And on, all kinds of different things. How about abolitionists for the immigrant, the people that's undocumented, that's been here for 30 years? Democrats didn't say nothing about that. And then on, like I said, the health care, child care, all of those things, education, being an abolitionist. The Democrats, the only thing they was concerned about was, hey, we need to get more Republicans to come to our side and vote for us. So this is the reason why the Democratic Party is so fractured, because they have really, they are more, I wouldn't say they're more Republican thinking, but they're more trying to be moderate instead of cutting these people's balls off and saying what they're doing to the American people, because that's what they're doing, man. They are just anything. How you gonna be a how you gonna be a Democrat when they're sitting up here destroying the black history of America? I ain't heard nobody talk about they going around taking down pictures. What they doing is they suing. Okay, that's fine, but I ain't seen heard nobody talk about, you know, different things that's happening to the black community. It's history. I didn't even hear nobody talk about when Oklahoma, when they was talking about Black Wall Street, when they was trying to get reparations. There was no big outcry. I mean, they did committee meetings and all that, but there wasn't no big outcry. The Democrats have lost their way in so many ways, but at the same time, they are they are siding with the right people. They're trying to do the right thing, but you got so many of them. They are so, and lack of a better word, upper class. That's not the term that I want to use, but it's upper class. They think they're more. Uh, elitists than the average working person. They're smart, they're intelligent, they're educated, they're they know all the different things that's going on, but they are not really for the working class people. They talk a good talk, and they do the things to try to health care for everybody and do this and do that, but they're not really get down in the mud and start doing things for all Americans, especially Black Americans. When they see that the voting rights is not just for Black people, it's for everybody. So I don't know what these Democrats is going to do. I mean, they claim because Donald Trump is so nasty and bad, and his economy is so bad, supposed to be, not for 20% of the American people, but and then you got his sycophants. So they got that part. You got 30% of the sycophants, meaning that they got 35 million people that will vote for Donald Trump. I don't care what he does.
Yep.
And then you got these 20% of people that's making more money than they ever have in their life. So there you go. So you got 40 million people, 60 million people, 50 million people, whatever, go vote for him. The other 20 million, 30 million people that might vote for him, all they got to do is program their mind and persuade them that, hey, Black people are going to take your job. The Latinos going to take your job. So I don't know. These Democrats have lost their way, bro. They have lost their way. They have realized they have lost their way because one thing for sure, the minority speaker, leader of the Democratic Party, the boy is smart. He's intelligent. I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way. He's very articulate. He's very aware of all the things that's going on. And I tell you, I like him. I like the things that he say a lot of times. But he's not following through, Ed. He's not getting things done. Now, will he be a Nancy Pelosi if he get in charge? I don't know. I don't
he,
know. I don't know if he has
I,
that power, bro.
I don't know if there is, Ted, if you realize it, there are so many factions and stuff in the Democratic Party. There are
Mm.
a whole bunch of them. And you are seeing those factions and stuff starting to come out. You've got people and stuff and everything doing things all over the country. I don't know if Hakeem knows about all that going on, but they focus on what Mamdani did in New York City, how he got rid of two incumbents. He convinced the people and stuff in New York to vote those folks that stuff out, and they successfully did it. And the news people asked Hakeem what he thought about Mamdani doing what the heck he did, because he stood up to APAC. He said there ain't nothing because they allowing Israel to almost genocidally destroy the Palestinians, and that was wrong. And he was the only one that was able to stand up and everything and say that with integrity, which is true. Israel is creating genocide in Palestine, and they've already almost completely destroyed them in the Gaza Strip there. And they're going into Lebanon now and trying to take them out. And they're doing one hell of a job and stuff doing that. And nobody here in the United States in APAC, it's no matter what BB does and everything, they don't make a distinction and stuff between what they doing. They just it's a you have to support Israel. You can't say nothing about whatever Israel does. Whatever Israel does is okay. You got to support them, and that's what APAC is. But They mention
And if you
something,
don't, you
they
are anti-Semitic.
right, you're anti-Semitic. But CNN, it has that guy that's on, and he does these polls and stuff out there. And they asked him about the polls and stuff, or who voted for these folks and stuff, who overrode those incumbents. And come to find out that at least 35% of the people who voted for these people who were voting against those incumbents and stuff were Jewish people. There's some Jewish folks and stuff who do not follow APAC. They do not follow APAC, and they're steadfast, approval of anything that BB does, and everything is okay. And we shouldn't say anything about it, because when we say anything about it, you are anti-Semitic. So I don't know if Hakeem and stuff realizes that they are, even though he gets his funds and stuff from APAC, and I'm telling you, man, he beholding to APAC, beholding to them, and he is afraid and stuff and everything that APAC going to come back and do something, about him. And you can see it in his face. He's afraid of APAC, but he's not looking at those numbers and stuff and everything, even in his own hometown in New York, where he comes from. You need to figure out what the heck you're going. Why did Mamdani come from nowhere and win the mayoralship there in New York? Something had to happen. Something had to be going about. And if you're not reading what's even going on in your home, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You got a big problem. Hey, man, I know you got to go. Final word.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, people, we sitting here discussing different subject matters. Like I said, and I'm gonna say this: all our shows that we've done, you should post them up as members only, and charge them $1 to listen to any of our programs. I'm serious, because see, people, we giving you some insight, we giving you some knowledge, we giving you some information, and we might not be putting up posters and articles all up and everything, but we're communicating of what's going on, things we've read about, things that we see that's going on. Now, it might be convoluted to you, it might be boring to you to a certain degree, but if you listen, you're going to get some good information, and you're going to get insights of what's going on across this country and across the world. Because one thing I do want to talk about, and I'm going to start really doing the research on this, the continent of Africa. Shit is going on in Africa, bro.
There's a lot going on in Africa, people. Ted's right. There is a lot going on there.
Woo!
There is a lot going on in that continent, a lot. And the black folks over there, some of them are doing great, some of them aren't doing great, but there is some huge changes going on there in Africa. And there's oh man, that would, just talking about them, Ted, would be at least 4 or 5 shows, and we
Oh
still
yeah, ain't no
wouldn't touch
question
upon
about
it.
that.
Yeah, we still wouldn't touch upon what's going on there. Man, I keep touching upon them every now and then. I go and some will pop up on my timeline or whatever it is and everything, algorithm, and it'll be something about Africa. I mean, there's a there's a guy and stuff over there now, man. He has in 5 years, man. He has changed his country from everybody in there being poor to putting in superhighways, uh, building condominiums and stuff for his people there in Africa, creating water and stuff and everything, and getting and helping these people and stuff get their crops. They got hospitals and stuff. They have an airport and stuff there and everything, modern airport. Everything he's doing and stuff in that country is modern. And a lot of the people and stuff and everything who left that country are heading back in droves because they see what the hell he's doing. And he is taking control of their natural resources, their gold that comes out of the ground, all of their minerals and stuff they got come out of the ground. The country had taken it over. All those folks who come in there, France and stuff, who've been coming in there, the colonists come in there to take their wealth out of the ground. He stopped all that. But they've been trying to kill him
Oh yeah, I've been reading
because they
about
done
it.
he done cut off a whole lot of money to those European countries and stuff and everything who have invaded them. And he's constantly got people sitting out there and start watching him because they looking to kill him. They want that Negro dead. He done took too much money out of their pocket. But the people there in that country and stuff and everything, more and more and more every day are protecting him. We'll talk about him. Anyway, people, we're going. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.